Welcome to the Whiskey Vault. It's Daniel.
Yep, I'm here.
Scotch Malt Whisky Society.
Yeah, it's a special one from Trent Brown.
Because I wanna. Trent Brown, you magnificent bastard! Okay.
It's Monday.
Okay, so the thing that's special about the Scotch
This is what
Malt
we drink on
whiskeys,
Mondays.
yes, it's the Monday whiskeys. The Monday whiskeys.
Thing that's special about Scotch Malt Whisky Society is
Yes.
that it's a private group
Yeah.
who goes around Scotland and other countries now,
Right.
selecting a single barrel
Yes.
of something,
Yes.
and then bottling it,
Right.
so you can't ever get it.
So, are these always cask strength?
Yep.
Oh, you just straight out of the barrel.
At least as far as I know, yeah.
And at any
Yes.
point in time, you're ever going to have like 2, maybe 300 whiskeys coming out of a barrel.
At most,
if it's
yeah.
it's a full-size barrel.
I've seen it as low as like 125. at one
Wow,
point.
that's a lot of angel share.
Yeah, but this one is interesting.
Yeah.
For one, it's called the Texas Tea Party,
Okay.
which I don't know if they've been paying attention to American politics, but
That's-
I think this predates that a little bit. It's an older bottling style, I
No
think.
comment.
So, but it's a, wait for it, 31-year-old grain whiskey.
You're a liar and a fiend,
It's true.
and here's why.
But it's also a 31-year-old grain whiskey.
Okay. On the nose, this is so bright and shiny and like a candy vanilla.
Almost Irishy vanilla,
Right.
right? Like really bright and shiny. 31 years,
don't-
still bright and shiny.
This is a very respectable organization here.
But I think I see where to go with this.
But
Lies and slander.
lies and slander, yes. 31 years. So we've had a bunch of really, really old whiskeys in the past.
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll get there.
Yeah, no, something just
And
flipped.
a common thread across these ancient whiskeys is not this.
No, it's dark
It's the
and
opposite.
musty
It's
and
heavy, it's
woody.
dense, it's rounded off, it's mature. This is bright, lively, fresh, shiny, candy sweet vanilla. This has more in common with Column Still American whiskeys.
Yeah. Okay, so take a sip,
Right.
and it turns into coconut bourbon with a little bit of high rye grain mash bill.
That's the most. As a bourbon, like yeah, maybe that's the most vanilla coconut
Yeah.
I've ever had in a whiskey.
Yeah, but there's that corn dust that you get in a bourbon. The wood actually showed up finally,
Right.
which you don't normally get in Scotland because the used oaks and
Yeah.
not a lot of time, right?
You know what this?
But
you know what this isn't?
beautiful.
You know what this isn't? It's not Scotch.
no, it's 31-year-old something.
No, I would say it's a 3-year-old,
I'd be willing to argue Irish.
3-year-old American column still
Mm-hmm.
going for that vanilla classic flavor.
I don't know, man. There's a nuance to this, and there's none of those young green notes that you get in something that young in bourbon.
Go back to even the nose. Go back to the nose. It's so alcohol forward.
It
and
is
the
well,
thing,
60% for
well,
one. So.
but the thing that time generally is going to pour into a whiskey is the rounding off, the smoothing off of the alcohol note and letting those other flavors mature and grow into it.
Yeah.
This, though,
But, okay, so you can still get an old bright whiskey, even in American whiskeys. But here's what I would say is, if you took a young whiskey and
Right.
you kept all the
I mean,
all
even-
the bright, shiny, sweet young
Right,
parts,
right.
but you got rid of the immature parts,
Right.
that's where we're headed.
Okay.
I'm going to add some water to your whiskey.
yeah.
Now, we're going to compare it. There is a whiskey. This is Girvan Distillery, by the way, in Lowlands.
Yeah.
And we have Girvan, and this is one you can actually get.
The water woke up the oak a little bit more.
Yeah, I haven't smelled it yet.
Okay.
But this, we're going to compare it to it. This is just the right off the shelf single grain Girvan, which is, in theory, what that is.
Okay. I like it a little bit more with the water added.
Do you? Is it more
Yeah.
character?
Yeah, a little bit more character. The oak shows up a little bit more.
Oh, even the nose
Yeah.
shows up.
I haven't even tasted it yet. I'm just talking about the nose. It's actually a little better with water. I'm getting some fruitiness now.
Yeah, it's not so dominated one note.
Right.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a little too simple and sweet and bright and shiny. I still don't know about that 31 years, man. That was
here's how you tell. This
that
is
in
not 31 years.
put that in a time machine.
This is at
Same
minimum
distillery.
3.
Same distillery.
Same distillery, same grains probably.
Okay.
This is at minimum 3 years old, but they don't have an age statement, so we don't know how old it
Looking
actually is.
from the top down, it looks like you accidentally poured water into this
I know.
because there's like hardly any color there
All
at
right.
all.
This is actual young grain whiskey, and now you'll see the difference.
I'm seeing the similarities.
No, there's similarities, but taste it and you'll see the difference. Because the taste in this older grain whiskey, I think, is where the value shows up.
Yeah. Oh, that's damn near water. What's the proof on that?
42.6.
Okay, so it's a low proof, but still,
Yeah,
even
but
at a
still
low proof,
paper thin.
I've had low proof whiskeys that delivered like 10 times as much flavor. That is super.
This is almost only sweet, but it's plain sugar.
Yeah.
Like powdered sugar.
It's like they
and
put.
there's no real spice of any kind.
Flavors are just.
Now go back to this and look for the density.
If we're doing an A/B, this thing's gonna come out looking good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely better. Here's the thing, though. I know there is a more effective, easier way than 31 years
to get those flavors.
Get those flavors.
Just send the barrel to America. It'll heat up a hell of a lot faster.
Okay.
All right. So you had comments. I can't remember which ones you did yesterday.
That's fine. The Gervin patent still. Do we know anything about the Gervin patent still?
I mean, no. It's just that's what they call their column still.
So there's a patent on the column.
Well, it was originally a patented column still by Aeneas Coffey and Robert Stein. They patented a column still.
Right.
So in Scotland, it's sometimes referred to as a patent still.
Oh, so the still itself is called a patent still.
Yeah.
Oh. We got just a normal ghost. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Not paranormal.
Who needs a fancy ghost?
It's not a paranormal ghost. It's just a normal.
Don't cross the streams.
Hot buttered bourbon? Seeing as I'm not that big of a rum guy, I was wondering what the best brand would be for a hot buttered bourbon. I've tried Evan Williams, since that's all I had, and it was okay. Planning on Jim Beam next. Any thoughts as to others that might work? Hot buttered bourbon. So he's talking about a rum cocktail.
Yeah, remember in a hot buttered rum, you use spiced rum.
Okay.
Not just any rum, spiced rum.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a spicy whiskey. Well, now there's two directions you could go. You could just walk away from the recipe entirely and just say, I want a bourbon version of this.
Sure.
And then get any bourbon.
Sure.
Or you could try to get a spicy bourbon, which would mean a high rye bourbon.
So why are you leaning towards a spicy bourbon? Because I don't see rum as being spicy.
No,
really?
but there are versions of rum, and in this recipe you use spiced rum.
Spiced
specifically.
rum. Spiced rum specifically.
Yes.
Okay.
Cloves, cinnamon, spiced rum.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're talking about...
So I'm saying you keep this, if you want to keep the spice, get a high rye bourbon.
Okay. But
which one?
when I hear spice, though, I think of rye. That rye
I know.
spice.
That's what I'm saying, a high rye bourbon. If he wants to stick with the bourbon.
He wants to stick with the bourbon.
But
it's got to get a rye,
I think you could just get a rye, too.
Maybe get a rye. Like a sweet, spicy rye.
If you want it to be whiskey instead of rum.
In the comments, what do you think would be a good bourbon or rye alternative to try in a hot buttered thing?
If your answer is not high rye bourbon, you're wrong.
Unless it's the right rye.
Empirically.
Then you're right. Because rye.
Unless it's Brad Leclerc.
Pat McDermott. I'm waiting for the Journeyman Distillery. Naughty crap we found in the basement bourbon. Them folks got some serious kink going on.
They do, don't they?
Behind the mash tuns.
I really want to meet those guys.
the whips and the
corsets.
Yeah. And what was the other one?
Corsets, whips, and whiskey. And the other one was
what's
the
guy called on the end of a chain? Gimps.
The Gimps. Are they gonna have to do a gimp malt?
All right.
It comes with a mask.
Final thoughts. Final thoughts.
I hope no one's looking for this.
It's like Crown Royal comes with the pouch. It comes
it's
with a gimp mask.
It's in a gimp bag.
Okay, here's defining stealing and drinking.
If you fight me, you fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal your liver's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.